We're recording. All right.
Here we go.
Thank you, Kay. Cup of tea. It's very kind of you. Biscuits. What have you baked?
Oh, her favourites.
What are they?
Oh, they're just an oaty type thing.
Oh, lovely.
She just could throw anything together in 5 minutes.
She loved baking.
Everything.
Oh, gosh, I love the cup.
Thank you.
Beautiful cups. Thank you.
Millie didn't like that.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well,
Well,
we've got to get on with it.
We do. She would love that you're all laughing, I'm sure. Look, thank you. It's an honour for being asked by the family to come and do the service.
That wasn't hard.
Oh, good.
That
Thank
wasn't
you.
hard.
Now, typically what I would do with everybody is I email a copy of the questions that I would ask today, just so that you've got a chance to prepare, think in advance, maybe have a chat with your siblings about what type of service that you would like. You know, I made note of music and things like that. So have you had a chance to look at that at all and go through it?
Well, we did.
You did?
And I've written a few things down, but really, they really want it as to be just a simple, sweet funeral for a lovely lady. You know, we don't want to go into any great lengths of anything.
Okay. So
Yeah.
just keeping it simple, real, feeling Mildred through the service. Okay, that
Yes,
sounds
and
really
then
good.
possibly, you know, when we all get together after, that's when everybody can do their talking.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds beautiful. All right, and so who did you get a chance to have a chat with prior to? Have you had a chat with the family about it? And they're
Well, Martha and Roger, they were.
that's right.
They're not here.
Okay, good.
No, and all the
All right.
grandchildren, they've sort of put their pieces in too, you know.
All
Like
right.
she was very close with all of her family. Well, Tom and Patrick, they just said, whatever you... They said, whatever you do, as long as it's lovely, you know. That's important to them.
Fabulous.
Because she was just a great lady,
So
but a simple lady.
beautiful. All right, well, let's go through these questions, and generally by the time we've completed the questions, I've got a really good I've got a really good understanding what you're looking for,
Yeah.
and we can talk it through at the end. How does that sound?
Lovely.
Okay, good. So just so that I can confirm, it was Mildred Young, wasn't it? And her date of birth was, I had the 1st of the 1st, 1912.
Yes.
Excellent. And who would her next...
She was known as Millie.
Millie, okay.
Yeah.
Often known as Millie.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And the next of kin contact generally would be, I've been informed that it would be you.
Kay.
Everyone's, yeah, okay, wonderful. Now, the cemetery that we're actually, first of all, do you know what type of service you were thinking of?
I'll just...
So that means you can have just a chapel service.
Oh no, chapel. Yeah, they thought it'd be nice just to have a simple service in the chapel.
Yeah.
And then a burial, which again will be sort of fairly short and simple at
Okay.
the Port Fairy Cemetery.
So we're going to have a chapel service,
Yeah.
followed by burial.
Yeah.
And hearing you say you'd like that just kept quite simple.
Simple, yes, because yeah.
Was Mildred religious?
Not greatly, but there's a certain aspect that we want her to be remembered fondly, and I think that part of the ritual will help in that.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm just going to take some notes that just help
Yeah.
me give it your feel as
Yeah.
we're going through.
Yeah.
All right, and so we've said a burial.
Well, look, she wasn't religious, but she was very spiritual. You know,
Okay.
she was really
Yeah.
warm-hearted and very kind, and she
Yeah.
really lived like a very spiritual person without really even discussing it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
Lovely. Now, do you know what a committal means and whether you'd have one or not? Have you thought about that?
Oh, that's
Did you
the
talk
earth,
about
the
that?
earth bit.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Where?
Well, I think so. I think that really helps the family come to terms with the end of her life, and that she's being recommitted to the earth.
That's right, and it often helps people know that this is the time when it's happening.
Yes. Yes.
Good.
And it gives you a bit of finality.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Closure.
Now, I was advised, and I'm just confirming that she passed away from cancer. Is that right?
That's correct.
And do you want to talk a little bit about that, or?
Well, she was really quite unwell and took herself to the doctor, and obviously didn't tell anybody because she really didn't want further any treatment. All she asked for was to be pain managed.
Yeah.
And she managed to do that and told us probably really only about a month before she died.
Okay.
Even though she was getting on in years,
Mhm.
we'd noticed a bit of a decline.
Mhm.
And yeah, she flat refused
Any treatment.
Yeah, and so then in the end we sort of gathered that as her wish.
Okay, lovely. Sounds like it was quite a peaceful.
Well, it was, in bearing in mind that even if there was pain, she wasn't going to tell us because
Yeah.
these were her choices.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right. Lovely. Well, thank you for sharing that. That's helpful for me to understand. Okay. So I have some questions then that are specific about the service, and anything that we haven't gone through, we can clarify here, we can come back to, and then I have some others that are particular about Mildred.
Right.
Okay.
Okay,
So
I'll
we've
see
already-
if I can
That's okay.
keep
Good.
it all together.
So we've already spoken that you would like a chapel service followed by a burial.
Yeah.
Okay, lovely. And the burial at the Port Fairy Cemetery.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
wonderful. And have you thought about who will be speaking at the service?
Well, possibly I will.
You will?
Yeah.
Okay, doing
Yeah.
a...
Just sort of a bit of a story eulogy type
Yep.
thing, yeah.
a eulogy by Kay.
And I've sort of gathered information from all the kids
Okay.
and tried to put something simple
Things
together.
together,
Yeah.
lovely.
Yeah.
And was it correct, I think when I spoke, a friend was going to possibly read a poem or something like that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, a really good friend. Yeah, Jennifer.
Jennifer.
Mm.
Okay, great. And what about, I believe she had lots of grandchildren. Were they planning to have any input? Or?
Well, they've sort of backed up their parents and all that type of thing, but I'm really thinking, well, they'll probably have some part in carrying her out and in and all of that type of thing.
Yeah.
And then they will probably share stories that we've never even heard at our gathering after all.
Okay, good. Well, they're welcome. Sometimes if the children want to read something, that's often like write something
Well,
and read something out, or I'm
going to run that
sometimes
by
if
the
it's-
kids because I think, you know, closer to the time, sometimes they get their head around it and then they might lie there in bed thinking, well, this happened with me and I want to share it. So I'm going to leave that opportunity open for the kids to actually
Lovely.
get up and say something if they wish, if that's okay with you.
And if they would like to write something but they don't feel comfortable getting up
Yep,
to read it, I'm more than happy to be
that'd be
providing that
lovely.
and
Yeah,
read it.
yeah, I'll let them all know.
So I'll just write children possibly
Mm.
read or write something.
She's just been wonderful to them.
It's beautiful.
Knew them all really well and
Wonderful. How lucky
shared
they
lots
are
of
to
secrets with them.
have had over so many years.
Yeah.
Okay. So is there any other rituals or signing of coffins or singing, dancing that you wanted her funeral or
Look,
music?
She really did love music, and we've really discussed this for a long time, and the only thing we can do is just play the songs that she really loved, because straight away that just connects people with Nana's music, and they all knew her for that.
Right, wonderful. So she was known for her music.
Oh yes, and her love of music, and it just kept her going.
Wonderful.
Especially in the last 5 years, or so, since her husband died, you know, with her friends.
Well, we can talk about what music she loved and where it might fit nicely in the service.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Is there any symbolic or favourite items you want? I know she was an avid gardener.
Well, she was an avid gardener, and therefore I've sort of taken a step aside, and I've picked all the flowers that are in her garden, and we are going to use those flowers as her funeral flowers.
That's beautiful.
And if there's any left over, we'll be decorating the church, the chapel, and all of that type of thing.
Wonderful.
And any of the kids that want to help are quite welcome to come along. That's
lovely.
Yeah.
Absolutely lovely.
Yeah.
So will the grandchildren be attending the service?
Probably there could be 2 or 3 not there because they're actually away. But they're there in spirit. I'm just
the other grandchildren.
I'm just letting it open. They all know exactly when it's on, and I'll set no pressure. You get there if you can and if you want to, you know.
And it's often something they're fearful of, particularly the first one, but it's an important process for them, helping to understand how death works.
Well, that's right.
And passing works.
And they all feel, some feel really okay with it, and others are quite sort of scared. So,
understandably. Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, so you've spoken about here, will someone be speaking or writing a eulogy? You will be?
I will be, and as we said, the opportunity for any of the grandchildren who want to pass on, and Jennifer with the poem.
Wonderful. Do you need a hand with the eulogy, or you're okay?
Well, I'll run it by you for sure. I'll run it by you for sure. And I mean, really, if one of the grandchildren would much rather read it and they come across strongly that, I'll be handing that over to them.
Okay.
If that's okay with you.
And I've got a little guide that I can share with you about writing a eulogy. Typically, people don't like, it's, half an hour to 40 minutes. By the time we do everything for the whole service is plenty. Yeah. Good. Okay, lovely.
Yeah, well, that's where I think that a lot of the stories, I'd love them to be shared at the gathering after, because I've just been to so many funerals where people get so agitated, sitting in a seat listening to stories that are often repeated.
Yes, that's right. Okay, good to know. So, had you had to think about any of the songs that you would like to play?
Well, look, we're in a chapel, so we can actually do whatever we want, can't we?
Okay, yes, we can.
So, we've got Coat of Many Colours by Emmylou Harris. Could I Have This Dance by Anne Murray? They both loved that song.
Coat of Many Colours was by Emmylou.
Emmylou, yeah.
Yeah.
Could I Have This Dance? They both loved this song by Anne Murray. I don't think there's any blokes at that age that just do not love that song.
So good. Next.
Feels Like Home, Trio. And I thought that you said The River Flow in You or something by Urama for the Burial.
Okay.
Yeah, we all like that.
Okay.
Time to Say Goodbye, Andre Bocelli.
That's a lovely one.
Yeah.
Often to have at the end of the burial.
Yeah. Just sort of, And of course, the old family favourite, You Are My Sunshine.
Okay.
You can pop that in wherever you think is appropriate.
Okay, and You Are My Sunshine. Wonderful. There's going to be lots of music which is beautiful. And if that's if that's who she was and that represents her, that's going to make everybody feel really good.
Well, I think just hearing those songs,
Yep.
it will feel like she's in there. Yes.
Lovely. Good. Now, do you have any particular order that you want those in, or you would like me just to weave
No,
those
you can
in?
work that out. That's okay.
Wonderful. Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
And there will be a sharing of memories after the service. I think I heard early on it was going to be at Kay's house in her garden.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Lovely.
Yeah, we'll just do the afternoon tea or a mealy type thing.
Yeah.
You know, I've got some ladies organised. Some of her friends' daughters are, you know,
At Kay's garden.
doing what
Wonderful.
she would have done.
And Kay's address, I've got 22 Dingley Dell Road, is that right?
Yeah, yeah. Just
Wonderful.
hope for a fine day.
Yes, beautiful.
Well, still it should be okay. We'll wait and see. And if not, we'll just go on the veranda.
Now, pallbearers, would you like pallbearers?
Well, the boys in the family had mentioned, or even six, I don't care. I said, well, don't just leave it just to the boys.
Great, so who did you think of
Well, you know, the four boys.
for their names?
Yeah. Oh, Tim, Luke, Lockie, and Joel. And I've also just run it by Ashley and Jemima, and they've sort of said they'd love to.
Wonderful, so we're going to have
6.
4 boys, 2 girls,
Yeah.
and their relationship to her is all
Yeah,
grandchildren.
grandchildren.
Wonderful.
And of course, there'll be my 2 brothers will be standing by to make sure that they cope.
Okay, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Good. And they're all happy to do that role.
Well, they seem to be.
And I'll
Yeah, but it could change on the day.
step them through
So,
that.
but the boys will be there for backup, so
Great.
that'll be fine.
Good. All right. Excellent. So that gives me a good, I suppose, feeling that you want something simple. You want a little bit of spirituality in there.
Yes.
We've got a eulogy that you'll read.
Yes.
Your friend Jennifer is
Yeah.
going to read a poem.
Yeah, I think that'll pull it all together.
And the grandchildren may think about doing something.
Yes. Well, I'll let you know.
Great.
You know, a couple of days
Yeah,
before.
that's great. And
just for the time slot, really.
We'll have a lot of music. There's going to be
Yeah.
music segued through it.
Yeah.
And you said Lachlan was going to be doing a movie tribute.
Yes,
and photos of family.
he's already working on that.
Wonderful.
Everybody's photos have come out in the last 3 days, I can tell you.
I bet they have, and it's
Yeah.
wonderful to sit around and
Yeah.
share those sorts of stories.
But sometimes that just brings the talk up, and hopefully we'll have that board going at the wake too,
Yeah,
and that'll bring the stories, and a lot of the stories the kids have never heard because they weren't of the right age group. So it's
Yes.
often, you know, somebody older, one of her friends will go up and say, "Now look, this happened,"
Yes.
you know, and it's just enriching for the
yes,
kids. Yeah.
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 To hear those stories and
Yeah,
laugh
and
about it.
just gives you a deeper understanding of their earlier years.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Good. All right, so we're now moving on to just some questions obviously about Mildred,
Yeah.
and we'll just
Oh,
see where we
somewhere.
go.
Oh, here we
Have a
go.
look at that. Wonderful. So you've already said she was known by Millie,
Yeah.
and her husband's name, just make sure that I've got it correct, was Henry.
Henry,
And how many years were they married for?
67,
Wow. And when did Henry pass away?
about 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
Yeah. Now that one was sad because it was unexpected.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she struggled.
She missed him a lot.
After about 4 years, she was just really lonely.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And her birthplace, where was she born?
Langatha.
And her parents' names?
Stan and Rosemary Edwards.
And did she have any brothers or sisters?
There was Martha and Roger, but they're both deceased in the past 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want any significant comment of that, or just that they passed away?
Well, just to mention it because she was actually really close to both of them.
Okay. Good. What about her early life? Where did she go to school? Or
Oh, well, look, she did attend Leongatha Primary and I think the high school. But she didn't really like do year 12 or anything like that because in those days girls they got married.
Yeah, right. So do you know what year you think she left in, or not sure?
Well, I reckon she was about 16 when she left school, and then she did work for a little while in one of the shops in Leongatha. It could have been Smith's Hardware or something like that.
Yeah.
And she loved that job because she saw everybody in the district.
Yeah, that's very social.
Yes, yes.
And so then, when did she meet Henry?
Oh, well, they met at a dance. I mean, there was a dance every week right around the district that they honestly had the best social lives, and how they got there, I'll never know, like cars and horses and...
Yeah.
But anyway, she met Henry at a local dance and she was actually married 12 months after that.
Wow. Love at first sight.
So, yeah. And there was a lot of girls just married, you know.
At that age, yeah. Met their husband young and married. So then once they were married, what did they do?
Well, actually they were pretty darn lucky because 2 weeks after they were married, I'm sure that their parents had been putting their heads together.
Yeah.
But there was a Ellerslie farm, which they lived on forever.
Right.
That was purchased and that's when they began their farming life.
Oh.
So
their parents assisted them to buy it not long after they were married.
Yeah.
And they've remained on that farm.
They remained on that farm.
Wow.
And their 3 children are now involved, and of course they've since bought land neighbouring and stuff like that, but it all started with that little farm.
And it's now a business that their children are all involved in.
Yeah, they are.
Wow.
Some of them do have jobs and then come back and do the weekend work on the farm.
But it still exists.
It's still in the family name.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Wonderful. If I just go back, so spiritual life, is there any prayer or spiritual prayer you would like in the funeral at any time?
Well, really, it's the old Our Father who art in heaven.
The Lord's Prayer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that just goes with the...
Okay, wonderful.
With their time.
Yeah,
Everybody
lovely.
says
That works.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right. Now, grandchildren. Do you know how many grandchildren that she had?
I think there was about 7 or so. Where did I have that? I've got it all. I've got them all written down. Oh, yes, she's got 7. Tim, Luke, Emma, Janelle,
7,
Lauren,
yeah.
Joel, and Ashley.
Wonderful.
Right, and she's a
great-grandchildren.
great-grandmother to Georgia, Elsie, Chloe, Jemima, and Lachlan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's right.
Wonderful. So just so I missed the grandchildren's name, if I'll list those.
Okay. Tim,
They are Tim.
Luke,
Yeah.
Emma,
Yeah.
Janelle,
Right.
Lauren,
Janelle. Yeah.
Lauren, Joel, and Ashley.
Wonderful. And so they lived on Ellerslie Farm.
Yeah.
So what were her sort of personal characteristics, her passions, do you think?
Well, it was really garden and community.
Yeah.
Family, or you better put family first.
Yeah.
First family, garden, community. She didn't miss a beat. She did a whole lot of volunteering, and sometimes she didn't even know where she was. But she was volunteering, whether it be for Red Cross, Op Shop, Lions Club, and it really filled her life.
Right, wonderful.
Yeah.
Baking and...
All of that, yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and
so
then
who
they all go out for
who
lunch.
should I make mention of as far as the community services go?
Oh, well look, I'd probably put CWA, Red Cross, Lions.
Lions?
Yeah.
Okay, great. And her hobbies?
Oh look, she always had a bit of crocheting or knitting going.
A lot of,
you know,
yeah.
but there was
Most
still
in the
gardening and she used to love to read.
Okay. And travel.
She did a lot of reading and travel. Yeah. Well, her and her husband, they travelled a lot in their 50s, probably just as the boys were taking over the farm. They went right out into remote Australia and they did a lot of overseas travel
Wow.
for the next 15 years.
It's quite early at that age.
Oh, they were pretty well organised and financially they'd set themselves up really well, being very careful, and they travelled really quite frugally, but they enjoyed that challenge.
All over the world.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
How amazing. Do you know some of the countries I've
Oh,
been to?
well, they just absolutely loved England because of its connections with Australia, but they also loved, Europe and
Nepal, South America.
Italy, they just go.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
What a laugh.
Yeah. But they
Okay.
especially loved remote Australia.
Yeah,
That
right.
really
Beautiful.
filled their life up.
And did she have any significant likes or dislikes that we've not mentioned, or that you'd like mentioned? You don't
Not
have
really.
to.
No. Look, I don't think she had many. She wasn't one to focus on dislikes.
Beautiful.
No.
So she was just a positive,
Yeah.
happy,
Yeah.
friendly, you've
Yeah.
said before.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
But of course, in that day and age,
Mm.
nobody ever had any disagreements, did they? Because it was all kept under the carpet.
Right.
So we never really heard any
If
of
there
that.
was a disagreement, you weren't to know about it. Right.
No, exactly.
Okay, now you've already said she loved music. I'll make
Yeah.
mention of that.
Yeah.
And we've got quite a bit of music
Mm.
to spread throughout the service.
Mm.
Okay, wonderful. Well, travels and holidays, so I will make mention of her travels,
Yes. Yeah. Definitely.
of how important it is. Now, it's hard, obviously, to give these types of things a whole lot of each segment. We really sometimes it's just one line.
Just to mention.
A mention.
That's all it is, because the people that are there, they know
Yeah,
exactly what
absolutely.
they did, but it's lovely that you are making mention of
Yes.
it.
And sometimes it's nice to include a little bit about the grandkids, that they can just have their little special thing. Is there any little special story about with the grandkids that you would...
Oh, well, she'd always have little surprises in the cupboard that, of course, the kids thought it was a really big treat to get.
Right.
Like making yo-yos and stuff
Okay,
like
so we
that.
might-
She did a lot of cooking with the kids. And of course, don't dare tell your mother.
Right.
Just she had her little secrets,
Yeah.
and she kept that going on forever, which was great.
And she was I think I know from talking with some of your grandkids, they loved playing cards with her.
Oh, she was sharp on the cards.
Right.
Yeah, I'd forgotten about that. She was real card sharp. She loved a good game of cards.
Good. Well, I think I'll
She's a
try
bit
and
competitive,
we'll weave something about that
and
in.
she hated anybody cheating.
Okay.
She could really ball them out over that.
All right. Now, look. Obviously, to keep it small, you don't have to make mention of these things. But if you would like, is there anything particular about animals or pets you'd like to make mention of?
Oh, look, she loved all the little calves and stuff like that they had around, but she also loved their working dogs.
Okay.
She was really, close to all of the working dogs.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. Recent life, I think you've already mentioned. She just did a lot of. She was
Well, she did a
friends,
lot of
family,
it.
volunteering.
Yeah,
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Great. Any special people that we need to mention who we haven't?
Probably just, well, we've mentioned her brother and sister that she was
And her
very close
husband.
to, yeah.
Probably
And
maybe-
really it was just the community. She felt like,
Do you have any fondest memories that you would like to share, or particularly, or?
she was always just so reliable. She was never nasty, which I just think was a real bonus. She was just always had your back. Very supportive.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Kind words.
Mm.
Do you have any sort of funny stories, memories, or little quirks?
Oh, there's lots of them, but I think that they'll all get shared at the gathering.
Gathering afterwards,
yeah,
okay.
Kids especially.
Yeah. Okay. Any significant life events or achievements that you would like to mention?
Well, she would love everybody to know that she was a life member of the CWA. That was one of her greatest achievements. Mind you, she's come from a time when women really didn't achieve like they do in this day and age. And that's, even education really was, for some families, was more thought of for boys than girls and stuff like that. So, but I think the life member at the CWA was really important to her.
Yep.
So yeah, she always took part in all of their competitions, especially in acting and singing and the fun
bits and pieces. She was always there to be a part of it. Wouldn't miss it.
Yes.
Okay, lovely. All right. Well, that's really the end of my questions, particularly. Unless there is anything else you feel that we haven't covered, that you haven't had an opportunity to say, that you're...
Well, I can't think of anything, but I'll ask all the family, and before the funeral we'll get back to you.
Okay.
And you can add it in or something like that.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
So what we'll do now is just step through how a chapel service with a burial tends to work, and we can talk about what you'd like to include and what you wouldn't like to include along those lines. It was in the paperwork that I gave you. I don't know if you had a chance to have a look at that.
Well, I've gone through and written a few things down, and we've discussed a few things.
Yeah.
So we'll just go through those things.
So, typically, as a chapel service works, so what we will be doing is, again, it's your choice. So whether people arrive at the church or at the chapel and seat themselves first, or otherwise they gather outside first, and then when we feel that everybody's arrived, then we play music and everybody walks in and gets a seat together.
Right. Well, that's okay, but then look, I don't mind. For some reason we could be running a little late, but I'm quite happy for people to walk in and take a seat.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe that the family wait to make sure that
the
all family members
all walking together.
Okay, so family walking together.
Yeah.
And we'll do that to a piece of music, one of those. Is there anything particular you would like there, or
well,
are you happy for me just to pick from the list?
Yep.
Yeah, I think just yeah. Okay.
You pick from the list.
Okay, sounds good. So then I'll do welcome and introductions and just a little bit of housekeeping at the beginning. I will pull together information that you've told me.
Yes.
Not as a eulogy, because I believe you're going to be giving that.
That's right.
But just some reflections of Mildred's life to get it started in that eulogy. And then you'll do the eulogy, and then we'll look for a speaker along the lines of, I think you mentioned that her friend Jennifer was going to do a poem, is that right?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So we've got Jennifer's
agreed to that,
And the children, we're going to provide something?
Well, they decided that would be better at the wake.
No, at the wake. Okay, yep. And you were going to have a video.
Yes, they were putting the kids were putting that together. The grandchildren were putting that together.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So I will put them in an order, and each time I will just ask the person to come forward.
Yes.
To read.
Okay.
But it'll generally go eulogy. Somebody will do a poem. Then we'll sit and watch the video and have a reflection.
Yeah.
And then we will do the committal, which is where we basically wind down the chapel service to, you know, to mark that we're now
Getting towards the end.
And we do a thank you, and we ask the pallbearers to come forward.
Yes.
And then the pallbearers, the music will be playing, the pallbearers will come up, they'll escort the coffin out, and the family will follow.
Yes.
Does that sound okay?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Pallbearers and family follow. And then we get to the graveside. So again, here I know you've kept saying that you want something simple.
Yes.
We've had a number of people talking and things
Yes.
within the chapel service. We can do that all again, bits again, or we can keep it quite simple. Depends what you would like.
Look, I think keep it simple, because a lot of times people don't go to the burial.
Yeah.
They might choose to just go to the wake, and I think we need to get that part of it
Over?
well,
not
yes.
over, but
yeah, just so that we're not keeping other people waiting for too long.
okay,
Yeah.
great. So what we'll do again is we'll have music playing there as you enter.
Yeah.
I'll do a little welcome
Yeah.
to everybody, introduction. We can, if you want to keep it simple, I think it needs to have just a little bit, so maybe a poem, if the family could find one poem,
Yeah.
or reflection. And then again, we will do a committal there where it's ashes to ashes,
Yes. Yeah.
dust to, is that,
Yes.
yes?
That's, I'm all familiar with that. Yeah.
Great. And you mentioned the Lord's Prayer.
Well, she would like the Lord's Prayer.
The
That's
Lord's-
been part of her upbringing forever.
Lovely.
Even though she's more spiritual now than
Yeah.
perhaps religious. Yeah,
Okay.
but that just comes with her.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the Lord's Prayer, and then it would be a lowering.
Yeah.
Or we don't have to lower the coffin if you don't want to.
Well, I think that, well, if it's lowered and then people then go and give their final tribute
Yes.
and they put a flower on it or throw
Yeah.
a flower in, that's probably
Lovely. Yeah.
fitting
it
if
does.
it's possible.
And it's helpful for the children, I think, to make sense of it all,
Yeah.
like where this
Yeah.
all happens. And so, yeah, so we'll
Yeah.
lower the coffin to
Yeah.
a song. And I think I know you, is there any particularly there you want her coffin
Well, I
lowered
think
to?
it's time to say goodbye.
Time to say goodbye.
Yeah.
And then people can come up and put,
Yeah.
you're going to have some other flowers
Well,
from her
have some
garden.
petals and
Yeah.
some garden flowers,
Beautiful.
whatever we can find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely. And that's really it.
Good.
So anytime we say a poem, we just have to make sure that we mention who's written the poem
Yes.
or the reading that we do.
Yes.
But also any time throughout, you know, if you get away from here and think you don't feel comfortable reading something, or you know somebody doesn't feel comfortable doing that, I'm more than happy to be provided with pieces to read on
Yes.
people's behalf.
Yeah.
Because I know on the day it can be difficult.
Yes.
Okay, lovely. Do you have any other questions?
No, not really.
No?
Not really. We'll just wait and see how it
Feeling
goes. And if
comfortable?
I
That's good.
have anything that I really am battling with, I'll give you a call.
Lovely. And I'll be there to guide you all
Okay.
the way through it. We take it slow and the steps are quite clear as we're going through it.
Okay.
So you
Thank
don't
you.
need to worry about it at all.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Lovely. Thank you. That
Oh, see you on
completes
the day.
my recording of my family interview. Thank you.